Good evening, folks, and a hearty welcome to our drive-in theater. We have a wonderful evening's entertainment lined up for you, one that will provide several hours of pleasurable relaxation and diversion for you and your family. Did you fail to dress up for tonight's show? No tie, an old shirt and slacks, a house dress? Well, don't give it a thought. We're glad you came as you are. We just want you to enjoy yourselves. Don't forget to visit our refreshment center during the intermission or any time. You love the tasty array of snacks we have to offer. So will the youngsters. Everything is quality and so good. We hope you'll make this a weekly visit. Bring the family. Bring your friends. There are always wonderful new pictures to see, delightful snacks to nibble, a gay, pleasant evening for all. Oh, a word of caution. Don't drive over 10 miles an hour in the theater area for your safety's sake. And Mom or Pop, go with the kids when they leave the car. We hope you have a wonderful time. Come back soon.
Hey you guys, it is me, your street little blue eyes, Frankie G. What is up, guys? Welcome to yet another video of 5 movies that I am suggesting or recommending for the fall/Halloween season that is coming upon us to get you in the mood. So in the past 2 videos, this is the third one. The past 2 we had covered a bunch of stuff. So just as a refresher, the first one we were talking about It, the remake, 2017, The Visit, Paranormal Activity, Autopsy of Jane Doe, and Amityville Horror remake. And then this second video we kind of did a theme. So the theme, we went into The Conjuring, Crimson Peaks, The Woman in Black, The Haunting remake, and 13 Ghosts remake, which were all haunted house type themes. So this video, I am going to kind of do another theme. It is pretty much movies that have women in it that are the focal point of the evil, as you could say, or what will make the movie a suspenseful horror. So it could be witches or some sort of female demonic presence or something of that nature. Most of them are pretty much witches, but with the fall Halloween season, I figured this would be pretty cool. I just finished up Murdered Soul Suspect on my channel. So if you guys have not checked that out, go check that out. I bring that up because it is based in Salem. And it's about murdering these young witches, they say. And you're trying to figure out who the killer is. So if you haven't checked that out, go check that out. Excuse me. But the theme will be witches or female characters that are the villain, so to say. So with that said, let's start off with our very first movie. The first one I have is Annabelle The Creation. So, yeah, this one, Annabelle is, a girl doll. She is the villain in the movie. It is extremely creepy. I don't know if you guys have been following the movies, the Annabelle and The Conjuring. Again, I mentioned The Conjuring in the last video. All of them are fantastic. So I actually love all of the Conjuring 1 and 2. Annabelle, the original, which actually happens after the Annabelle Creation. They kind of flipped the time frame. But the first Annabelle was okay. I didn't absolutely love it, but there were parts of it that were really good. Like the intro of the first Annabelle is insanely creepy and scary to me. It's very realistic, but it's very, it's just evil to me and scary. And this movie, as you could tell, it's Annabelle The Creation, is prior to that. But it ends leading into Annabelle. So I highly, highly recommend this movie. Again, it is part of that world, and they're all great. They bring in the Warrens, which were investigators. They're kind of like, I guess, your first paranormal investigators that were well known, and they, they get a hold of Annabelle later in the movies. In this particular one, they are not part of that, but they're part of the whole storyline. This one stars Anthony LaPaglia. I think it's how you say his last name. He's really good in the movie. He plays a pretty stone-faced kind of guy throughout, but he's really good. He's a strong kind of character. He's quiet and strong. There are a bunch of young kids in the movie, and the main girl does a fantastic job in the movie. She's amazing. The rest of the cast is okay. I mean, the older kids, honestly, it's funny. The younger kids in the movie do a better job in the movie than the older kids in the movie, if that makes sense. The older kids are teenagers, and their characters are kind of like, or forgettable or whatever. But the movie itself is really good because of all the scare factor, all the creepiness. The doll actually is very, very creepy. It's way better than the first one. They do a really good job focusing on her. This one was directed by somebody different, though. It was David F. Sandberg. He's done like Shazam and Lights Out and a couple other things. So definitely go check it out if you guys are interested in that kind of a thing. But again, I thought it was great. I thought it was the best one out of the Annabelles. I didn't see the last one, so I can't say that. But I can say it so far, out of the ones I've seen, out of the two, it's the better one. It's actually right up there with Conjuring and Conjuring 2 out of the group. The Nun was really good, but I could actually put that on here as part of the list. So, hey, sub-movie, part B, The Nun, check it out. It's part of the universe, and it's really good. It has a lot of creep factor. Really good movie. Again, it all ties together. My only thing with The Nun is at the very end, I feel it's a little Hollywoodish, but more so than any of the other movies. But again, check out Annabelle Creation. All right, guys, let's go to the next movie. Our next one is Insidious. So again, it's another one of that type of movie. I mentioned Insidious last video when I was talking about The Conjuring because of the main character's dad in this movie. I guess he's the main character. He's not really the main character. The kid in the picture. It has to do with this woman in black, demony witch woman coming after that. It's a long story, but there is a woman in here who is evil. She's dressed in black, and she's showing up in pictures, and she's in the dreams. And then when this lady with abilities goes in to try to help the family and help the kid, the woman in black is there and trying to go after her too. It's pretty creepy. Very, very, very creepy. So back to the thing. The young boy's dad is he plays one of the Warren. He plays the Mr. Warren. I forget his name in the Conjuring movies. So they are kind of like connected in that way. The main lady who has the abilities, she actually has a dog in the Insidious movies, and she names it Warren. So it kind of ties there. The acting's really good in it. Lynn Shay is the the woman with the abilities, and she's really good. So if you like The Conjuring and you like those kind of movies, you're gonna like Insidious. I've seen 1, 2, and 3. Haven't seen the fourth one yet. That's on me and Lady's list to watch within the next couple weeks, because I literally just saw the third one about 2 weeks ago. So I wasn't able to see it before, but I was able to watch it. So we're trying to finish out the group, and hopefully we'll be able to do that in the next 2 weeks. That's on my list of movies to watch. But I highly recommend this. you'll want to watch all of them because they're fantastic. They do some time jumping again in this storyline as well. So like once you get into, I think like I forget how it works, but 2 and 3 kind of are jump back in time. It gets real confusing, but one of 3 is definitely a jump back in time. But it's really really good series, and the first one is fantastic. So highly recommend that. So let's move on to the next one. I don't want to make this video too long, so let's go to the next one, guys. All right, The Witch. This movie's really interesting. Okay, you either love it or you hate it. It's kind of got that very indie feel for a horror movie. I thought it was really good. It's a little dark for my taste in some scenes. Like when you start to get into more of the satanic stuff, I'm not really a big fan of all that. I don't mind it being there if because I know it's there, and you know that's creepy. So, but when they get really into things, sometimes it bothers me. But this movie as a whole is fantastic, and it's based during the Salem times, and it is in New England. So it's about a family that kind of gets outcast, and they have to live out in the woods, and there's like all this like black magic and witchcraft and weird things happening and possessions and stuff that are going on with the family. And you know, you start seeing things, and things are just in the woods and all kinds of things, and it gets really creepy. I thought it was a really good story. I thought it was very well acted. It was very well filmed. Visually, this movie is just so like ominous. I guess is a good word. It's creepy and ominous and very like fall, like going into winter feel. And it has dread. Like there from the beginning of this movie, unlike the other movies, it does not give you any sense of hope, really, in my opinion. I just feel it is encased with doom and dread and darkness, and not visually dark per se, like color wise, lighting wise. Some scenes are dark, but it's just the presence of the movie. So I think you'd really enjoy it if you just kind of let yourself like just go with the flow of the movie. I don't know. Lady didn't like it. She couldn't stand it. But I've talked to other people, and they've seemed to really like it. And yeah, I mean, give it a shot and let me know what you think. Again, it's one of those that are just kind of out there. It's not something that's for everybody, but I really enjoyed it. I have it on DVD. I thought it was fantastic. In fact, I think out of all the movies that I have on my list to watch right now, out of this week's, I don't think I have any of them on DVD except for this one. So, but I do recommend it. All right, guys, let's move on to the next one. Okay. I know what you're thinking. You're like, what the bleep? The Blair Witch Project? Come on. Lord, what are you talking about, man? You're off your wagon. I'm never watching another one of your suggestion movie videos again. I'm never going to take your advice on movies. I'm not going to watch any of this junk because the Blair Witch Project was trash. Well, let me tell you something. It was not. The Blair Witch Project was great. It was great. Okay. It was a movie made on a shoestring budget that made millions. I think it's the highest grossing movie ever profit-wise. I could be wrong with that, but if I'm not mistaken, I think it is. It was dirt cheap to make, and they made millions of dollars worldwide, maybe even nationally. I don't know. I'm not going to get into stats. Just know it is really good. Basically, I think most people that didn't like it, they didn't. Okay, I said this before about another movie, but I think they didn't like it because they felt duped. To be perfectly honest, the movie was based off of found footage. Okay, And the marketing of the movie when it came out back in 1999 was that this was legit. It was real. That these were real images, real recorded happenings, and it was true found footage that these college kids went out there to do a report, and they disappeared, and their found footage was found. Obviously, it was found, but once everything blew over and people started digging into it, everybody found out no, it wasn't real. Okay, it was a made movie. The actors used their own names, da da da. But this movie kicked all that off. It kicked off all those paranormal activities and everything else that you might see. If you enjoyed those, you should enjoy this. The other thing that people may not like is that it's kind of slow. And the ending is, for some, lackluster. Okay? For me, it's not. I thought the ending was great. It left it up in the air. It left it creepy. It left it like, holy crap. It left it like, what just happened? If you put yourself in their shoes, I said this before, try to have empathy. And when I watch movies, that's what I try to do. No matter what type of movie it is, I always try to put myself in the shoes of the characters that I'm watching on the screen at that moment. Regardless of the scene, it might not even be a main character. It might be a part character, a small part character, or just one scene with the character. But I try to put myself in their shoes and feel what what they like mentally and emotionally, what they would be thinking or feeling. And in this movie, to be three students who aren't used to the woods, but go out into the woods and they're camping out there, and they're getting lost and they're hearing all these things, and they're researching something very dark and scary. It will really mess with your mind. It will F your mind up. So if you put yourself in their shoes, man, it's creepy. I would not want to go camping out in those woods. I don't even care if it's fake or not. Just because of the movie, I don't even want to do it. So, but again, I thought it was a great movie. I thought it was well done. It had to be good because it kicked off so many other movies. It kicked off a whirlwind of found footage, the found footage like whole thing. So give it a shot. Don't get mad because of the dupeness. Just enjoy it for what it is and know that it actually was a very good movie. It was creative as hell and well done. So, all right, that's enough with the Blair Witch Project. And now, our final movie, The Ring. All right, guys. This is pretty probably like the most popular one out of all these, the most known movie out of all these. This was a remake based off of the Japanese version. I think this movie was, it was directed by Gore Verbinski. He's done Pirates of the Caribbean movies, The Lone Ranger. He's working on Spaceless. He's got a really good resume. And I mean, The Lone Ranger to me visually was a really cool, well done movie. It was a well directed movie. It was silly, but it was really good. I like his vision. I like how he films scenes. And The Ring was probably one of the creepiest movies I've seen in a while, as far as like something different. If that makes sense. Like the girl in the movie that is coming, that they're trying to figure out what's going on and help her and save people, and it gets into a big hodgepodge of stuff, is creepier than hell. Okay, she is creepy. She has become kind of like the staple point for like demonic, not possessed, but like demonic, spirity, evil spirity kind of creatures. Like the look of her, she's used a lot. Like in other movies now, and not specifically that character. You get what I mean, but that look, it started something new. The movie spun off some sequels, and recently just had one a couple years ago. That one didn't do too well. In fact, because of it, they canceled doing the Friday the 13th movie that was in the works prior to the lawsuits. They were working on scripts and trying to get it together, and then when The Ring that came out recently didn't do that great, they decided to nix the Friday the 13th movie, and then there was talk about maybe doing it again because it was sold, and then it went on the shelf, and all these things, and then the lawsuit, and then now that's that. But now there's talk again for another Friday the 13th. But now I digress because I'm kind of going off to another thing. But the original Ring was really, really good. Great concept. Getting the tape, watching it, and then, dying like within a week. And the investigator, this woman who's an investigator, tries to figure it out and tries to put the spirit at peace, at rest. And, it goes from there. Fantastic movie. I thought it was really good. It has the most modern feel outside of Insidious, out of all these movies that I've suggested in this video. Insidious has a modern feel too, but I think The Ring is probably the most modern feel because of the spirit and just the whole concept. But guys, let me know what you think. Please, please, please leave a comment. Let me know what movies you've seen. Let me know what movies you haven't seen. Let me know which ones you've liked if you've seen them, which ones you didn't like if you've seen them. Let me know which ones you not seen that you want to see now because you're like, oh, that looked cool, or that sounds cool. If it was something I said, or just in general because you're like, oh, I forgot all about that movie. Maybe I'll go check it out. But let me know, guys. Let me know what you think. I am going to do my final video next week, and I have a couple different movies. I think they're going to be more Halloween based, maybe. Some of them will. Not really sure. We'll see. I have a couple ideas of some of the movies I want to recommend. There's a mix of a couple different things, so I don't know if it's going to be one theme or multiple. So. But I hope you guys like it. I hope you've been enjoying these videos. I've enjoyed making them for you. And remember, at the end of September, very first day of October, somewhere in between on those couple days, I will be doing, I hope to do it before the 1st of October, but I'm going to be doing 31, ranking the 31 movies from the top 3 horror franchises, meaning Friday the 13th, Halloween, and Nightmare on Elm Street. There were 31 movies made. There's 31 days in the month of October. I'm going to do a ranking of all of them, and hopefully you guys will, get to see each one, maybe one a day, all the way through from the beginning to the end until you get to Halloween. So if you start out on October 1st, you can watch them in order. By my ranking. There might be a possible collab on the ranking. So as many of you may know, Hijinks, who is a very good friend of mine. Last year, me and him went to a haunted attraction together, and we streamed it, us going into it. We're thinking about doing some of them this year and doing the same thing. Doing a live stream from the entrance. But he will also quite possibly be doing a 31-day ranking as well. I've talked to him about it, and he had mentioned that he would be interested in doing it. So we're just trying to work that out. They will be separate videos. We will try to link each other so you guys can check them out. But I wanted to let you know. And you can just compare and see, what ones I liked versus what ones he liked, which ones I didn't like, which ones versus the ones he didn't like. But it should be enjoyable nonetheless. So keep that in mind. So you guys, next week I'll have another video, my final one for September, the fall Halloween kickoff video movies to get you into the mood. And then I will be doing the 31 days. And then after that, I will try to do slasher movies that I recommend each week of October. Okay, guys. With that said as well, I may be looking in October to try to start up again some movies that we can watch together. So maybe what we could do is if I do the top 5, or if not, I might not be top 5, but if I do the top slasher movies that I'm recommending, then we can vote on the movies and see which one that people want to see. All right, guys. With that said, I love every one of you guys. Mwah! You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for letting me do this. Thank you for checking it out. Thank you for being a part of this. I love you guys. Have a great and safe rest of your day or week, whatever it is. Love you guys. Later.